Let's see if we have any brave souls in-house. There we go, sir. This is an auction. Anyone else on this side for questions? Because what we're going to do, we're going to take questions in-house, first mic, second mic, then we're going to go to online questions and start in that circle once more. So if you have any questions, please come up to the mic. Bring your laptop. Choose one. Okay. No, go stand wherever you want to stand. Okay, so let's start. This gentleman was here first, so let's start here. Sir, what's your question?
Great.
You have one question?
One question with multiple parts. No. So primarily a question for the suitability petition so far, Arlene. Petitions. However, in letters that we've received back, there's really been no sort of acknowledgement as to whether the petition was approved or not. So in industry, you're just kind of, sitting there shrugging your shoulders as to whether it's a priority review or not. So it's more of a request, if that's a consideration, that OGE can start to put some language into the completeness assessment letters to communicate whether it was considered a priority review or not. And then the second part of that question is if you could just sort of give me your sort of concept as to what priority review that petition actually means. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you look a little familiar. So with regard to priority, so the commitment letter outlines the categories that are classified for petitions that will receive a priority designation. Currently, it does not outline any sort of shortened time frame specifically for it, but we do identify whether a petition is priority during the completeness assessment. However, I agree with you, we do not state that in the completeness assessment correspondence, but that is a great suggestion that I think we can take back. As for the could you repeat that?
The latter part was just what does priority review of the petition actually sort of mean, since it's not really defined anywhere.
Right, so agreed, it isn't defined anywhere. There's no explicit shortened timeline, but there are internal measures to prioritize petitions that are identified as priority.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike, question for Mike 2, please.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for doing this today. We really appreciate it. Actually, Giuseppe Randazzo from AAM. We've had requests from members. They were excited to see it. This was scheduled in April, so we appreciate y'all being here. A couple questions, and I'm not sure who can respond. One is... One question, please. One question, two parts. No, fine, one question. So one of the recent guides is, and this is combination of drug shortages and policy, it's notifying FDA of discontinuance or interruption is the specific guidance I'm referring to. It was recently re-released, and there was just some confusion from some of our members as it appeared to be released missing some information within. So this is a content, or excuse me, maybe a process question. It removed the sentence specifically, when finalized, this guidance will replace the March 2020 guidance. So it appeared to be final, but we believe it was still draft. So I'm not sure if you have any clarity about that specific guidance, or again, maybe this is just a process question. I'm not sure if you can answer. And I'm not sure who would answer that.
Which guidance was it, G?
It was the notifying FDA of a discontinuance or interruption in manufacturing of finished product or API under Section 506. So it was the CARES reporting. Again, and this might have been some process question.
Yeah, Giuseppe, we can get back to you on that. I don't think it's final, but we'll get back to you.
Okay, and I'll send you the reference so it's easier for you.
Perfect. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to an online question, please.
Right, our first online question is for Johanna and the drug shortages group. Do we have any timelines to notify the agency about permanent discontinuation? Once we submit the permanent discontinuation, can we recommence the manufacturing activity-based management plan or market demand? And also, should we inform the agency about plan recommence activity?
Yeah, so notification is, it says discontinuation 6 months in advance or as soon as possible. So we really want to know as soon as you know there is going to be either a discontinuation or an issue that would lead to a disruption. And what was the second part of the question?
Sure. Once we submit the permanent discontinuation, can we recommence the manufacturing activity-based management plan or market demand? And also, should we inform the agency about plan recommence activity?
I mean, any information would help us. I would say that you would continue, but any information that would help us as far as, future plans, that would be helpful.
Is that it?
Yep.
Thank you. And let's go back to Mike 1. Your question, please.
Hi, mine is about the policy updates related to guidances and maps. And I know there's a guidance agenda published, but is there a docket similar to requesting PSG updates for guidance updates? In particular, the content and format of an ANDA guidance as it relates to drug device combination products. And that would be also the ANDA filing checklist map. Could there be information related to drug device combination products? Is there a plan to add that information?
So you're both asking for an update on a map and an update on a guidance, and you're asking if there's a docket where you can submit those types of updates. I think there is a docket for submitting requests for guidances, and I can look up that docket number and get it to you. On maps, those are driven by internal agency needs, so we update those as we have the resources and the impetus to do so. I thought we recently published a revision to our ANDA filing map, though.
Yes, but it doesn't have
The
this
information you seek.
particular information there.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
We'll take your feedback.
Also, I want to note that typically if, even in the generic drug space, typically if the guidance or the policy is about drug device combination products, it is typically led out of the Office of Combination Products and not out of OPPQ or OGD. And so we would obviously be involved in any guidance development of that type. But if it is directly about combination products, typically the Office of Combination Products has heavy involvement in it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mike 2, please.
So this is related to updation in the product-specific guidances. So let's consider a product at a different stages. One is almost ready for the submission, but we are facing a notification which says that the PSG will be updated in the coming months. Then what to do? That's the first question. Second, for the first,
Let's answer one question, please.
so for the same only, it's the second scenario. Okay, you can,
First question, please.
so first question is for the development product, if it is under the, like B study and everything has been completed, but we are getting a notification that PSG will be updated in the coming months. So what be the case? And the same way, the product is like a B study has been partially completed and it says having a PFC submission, not a directly ANDA submission, then what, how to proceed? Should I come again or am I clear?
We're waiting for them to confer. Is that something we can address or is it too individual?
I think we're not quite sure about the second part of your question, so we might ask you to repeat that. But you're saying for the first question, you have already submitted an ANDA or you're still in development?
So it's like within a 1 week we are going to submit. It's almost ready to submit.
And by update, you're talking about an update to the forecast list.
Yes.
And what kind of update did the PSG revision indicate?
It says minor,
Minor?
but it says that there could be a deletion of some studies.
Deletion of studies.
Yeah.
So often PSGs are revised to include either alternative approaches to the existing BE studies that are recommended in that PSG. There are other times when information is being revised to delete a study, in which case you would not be expected to conduct that study. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. Online, please, Nora.
So this question is for either Joe or Martha. What is the agency's thinking regarding changes in the PSG for ANDA submissions, which are in the middle of a review cycle, and for products that are already approved? This can affect the ANDA applicant financially and delay the approval.
So we'll answer this in two parts. So the first part, I would direct the applicant to potentially use the PSG TCON pathway. So if that in vivo study was already started and on the forecast list, let's say that the PSG revision was stated that it was going to be revised for that in vivo study, they potentially would be eligible for that PSG TCON meeting. So that would be kind of the first advice. But secondly, I know Martha wants to add on.
Thanks, Joe. As I noted to the earlier question, many of the PSG revisions are intended to provide an alternate approach. Our research and science program is really identifying different ways to establish equivalence that reduce the burden for applicants in being able to demonstrate bioequivalence. So by and large, our PSG revisions are intended to provide an alternate approach that hopefully is less burdensome for the applicant. But any revision that we make to the PSG is intended to reflect our current thinking on the most accurate, reproducible, and sensitive approach to establishing BE. And so in the cases where there are critical revisions, and I don't believe that we've made any to date, those would be expected to be conducted if new studies are required. Those would be expected of both pending and approved applicants.
Thank you. Let's go back to mic 1, please.
This question is for Dr. Joe. Thank you very much for a detailed presentation on the PSGs. So I have a question on one particular product where there is no PSG available, but the review packet available at drugs at FDA has very detailed, every detail, like type of studies, number of studies, then the analyte to be tested. Everything is available in the review packet. Can we use that and go ahead with our BE study for the ANDA?
Yeah, it's a great question. So if there is no PSG developed, the high-level answer to that would be yes, you can, but you'd be proceeding at your own risk. So if there was to be a PSG developed, then that could potentially lead to further meetings needed or a filing issue if that PSG was going to be developed.
If it's a complex product, you can also request pre-ANDA meetings that would assist with.
No, it's not a complex product, but the review packet, at the drugs at FDA is very clearly mentions type of studies, the analyte, and the number of studies required. That was approved. That was approved for the RS product. So can we use that, or you want us to go with the TCON or the pre-ANDA meetings?
It's a good question. I would say, based on your explanation, safe and sorry would be probably to go through the pre-ANDA meetings in order to get that clarification before you submit, and if there's a filing issue. I would say that would probably be the safest approach here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we'll do the last question in-house and then one online. So next question in-house, please.
Yes, this is for Captain Saliba. An RLD that is on the shortage list can receive expedited review of an ANDA submission. If it's on the ASHP list, but not on the FDA list, are those lists ever harmonized? Is there communication? Is there any sort of cross-pollination on that?
Yeah, the two lists serve different purposes. So ASHP have their website, and they serve, their practitioners and to put in information in detail about each product and each NDC, where our website is directed more at a shortage of a national level, and if the total market is not being met. So it is different. And when we expedite reviews of an application, we, at the time of submission, if the product is listed on our website, then it could likely be expedited, of course, while meeting the ANDA submission and requirements.
But if it's not on your list, but on the ASHP list?
Yeah, we don't consider that, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And our last question for this morning comes from online.
Sure. So for Johanna Ray regarding drug shortages, how will FDA provide support for a new ANDA filer for the product which is under shortage? Does FDA reduce review and approval period? And if yes, how much?
Yeah, it's similar. So the application is considered for expedite if it's on the shortage list. As far as time frame, that is really, it varies, and it's not something that we can give a time frame for.
Okay, thank you all very, very much. Thank you to our panelists and our keynote speakers.